Okay, so filing taxes was a nightmare for us the first year because I overdid it. I digitalized every single receipt from every single transaction. I categorized them from fuel to food and all the things in between, all the supplies and car like or truck parts, and it was just a mess. And you've got two options when you file taxes and you're a driver. You can take the itemized route, or you can take the standard mile deduction route. And after going through what we went through the first year, the second year I decided to go ahead and try the standard mile deduction route, and it was just so much easier. And so that's the way we're going to go from now on. And I just want to show you how we go about saving our logs. Our logs, my husband's logs, how we go about saving his logs as well as digitalizing them so that way we can use spreadsheets to do that math of adding up all of the miles for us and not have any errors. Now, he has to keep up with his logs as he drives every day. He has to log everything, when he's working. So I've got his Motive app pulled up. I just finished working with 2024. I already had this stuff digitalized somewhere, but I don't know where. I'm just doing it all over again. And he's only been with this company since 2023. And it is 2025, but I anticipate he'll still be there next year. And, well, not at this same company, but he is switching companies, and hence that's the reason why I'm trying to get everything again in one spot. And so actually moving forward with our taxes, I'll probably always reference this one spreadsheet and just use different tabs to indicate what year we're working with. But you can see down here I have 103,843. That's our total miles. His total miles traveled for work. And it was really easy to do. I just simply copied in each month's log information. And then I used that formula you can see here at the top of the screen. It's E3 through E756. Take the sum of all those values and voila, it's finished. So let's go ahead and get down to it together. I'm hopping over to my 2025 tab. It's fresh, it's blank. Let's go over to the Motive app, and I am in the logs section. I'm going to change the range by clicking this drop down arrow. I'm going to toggle over to the month that I'm interested in, January of 2025. I want to start with January 1st and stop at January 31st. You can see the system is already auto-populating for me. I'm going to go ahead and select. And notice it says only 25 logs were selected. We have more than 25 days in the month of January. So I scrolled down and you can see some of these weren't selected. At this point, I could select each one by one if I want, or I could just click the select all to grab all 31 of them. Anyhow, now that I have 31 logs selected, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to click the download key on the top right-hand side of the screen. It drops down two options, United States and Canada. We are in the United States. And then I personally like to give the computer a moment to show that it has downloaded what I'm asking it to, and just open it up and take a peek, and I can see that I have all of the different days in, even days where he didn't do anything, but anyhow. So in addition to downloading these files, and what I like to do is I load them to my device, and I'm going to upload them to Google Drive. I have a personal drive I pay, I think it's $60 a year for to store all kinds of things in, and that way it's up in the cloud. But anyhow, in addition to having those logs downloaded like we just did, I also like to take them and put them into a spreadsheet. So I scroll down to the very bottom of this log spread and the bottom right hand side, so I'm having to kind of scroll over here, and I'm going to use my left click to click, and I'm not releasing. I am dragging in order to highlight. And I'm going to the top left-hand side, and I'm going to scoot down a bit so that way I'm highlighting this label row included with all of the rows of information. So now that it's all selected, I am going to copy it. You can also use a keyboard shortcut to do that. Control-C would allow you to copy. And now I'm going to actually paste everything here. And there we go. Now I don't really care for how the columns are right now. I'm going to scoot them over a bit to kind of let that formatting roll over in a way that I like. I am zoomed out very far. I think I'm at 70%, and I have my screen split anyhow, you can see everything pasted over really nice for each day. The only thing that I've noticed that I can't figure out how to fix when I'm doing this is that this label row is shifted over one column too far to the left. So what you do to fix that is you highlight it, you're going to cut it out, you're going to select this cell here, B2, and we're going to paste. And so that shifts everything over one cell for us to the right. And now that's all good. And you can do this just for each month. So let's do one more month together. Let me zoom out. I'm going back over to the Motive app. I'm going to hop over to the next month, selecting my start day, February 1st, and my end day, February 28th. Selecting all. Notice I only have 25 logs selected. We know there's more than 25 days in the month of February. I just scroll down. I'm going to select those last 3 days. I'm going to click download, top right hand side of the screen. I'm going to select United States. I'm giving the device a moment to actually show me that it has indeed downloaded that file. You don't have to open it to see if it did, but if you want to, you can. I usually do not. I'm going to deselect everything. I'm going to scroll to the bottom right hand side of the screen, left click and highlight everything here. Okay, and I don't include this stuff up here. I stop with this labeling row. I'm going to go ahead and copy. I'm going to come back over to my spreadsheet. I like to skip a row, so row 65 has nothing in it. So I'm going to go down to row 66 in that column A, and that's where I'm going to paste everything. I just did Control V, and it all filled in. It's really beautiful. The only thing that's messed up again is that labeling column. Or not column, excuse me, that is a row. That labeling row is shifted over one column to the left too far. So I've highlighted it. I'm going to hit Control X to cut it out. Scooting over to the cell, it's B66, and I'm going to use Control V as a vector to paste that and scoot it over one cell, and there we go, it's done. And you just continue this process. Now I'm going to show you real quick about the math portion, but I'm not going to have all of my months populated, obviously. But to do the math portion, maybe you want to go ahead and label total miles. And then beneath that, you're going to hit equal in order to indicate to the software that you are typing in a formula. You want it to do some math for you. And we're going to use the sum function, open parentheses. And you've got a couple routes here. You can click and highlight the entire column that you want to add all of those entries up in. So that's one way you can do it. That highlighting and dragging can take a while. I'm going to actually delete that out now. Another thing you can do is you can just look at what cell you are starting in up here. What is that? E3. And what cell do you stop at? So it's that E122. So you can do equal sum, open parentheses, E3 colon E122, and it grabs all of those entries for you. But anyhow, once you have those miles, your total miles for the year, you type that in. Those were your work miles. They are deductible. You can use it for that standard mile deduction. I wish I would have known about this process the first year of this being easier. I think somebody had, some people mentioned it to us, and maybe it just didn't click. I don't know. Sometimes you just got to go through the hard part on your own first to realize, hey, there's an easier way to do this. But all right, hopefully this helps.